All right, Coach, they've got right around 100,000 packed in here like sardines at AT&T Stadium. And with the roof closed and the bottled waters flowing, figures to be a loud and raucous atmosphere in Arlington. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys. It's a tradition that began in 1966, and off we go on a Thanksgiving afternoon in Dallas. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Now with a play clock at 4, we're going to get a timeout called. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Now Tomlinson on 1st and 10. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
Brings up 3rd down and 9. Check 4, check 4.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. Eluding the pressure right. The pass complete. It's Bird. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Well, that's how you convert on 3rd down with an explosive gain of 34. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Man open, it's Goodwin. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. 1st down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down.
General West. Hey, hold. Hey, high 7.
Allen to throw once more. Goodwin able to haul it in. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. 3rd catch for him on this drive alone, and it'll give him a 1st down. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive going to plan so far. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
A gain of a yard.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Now they're coming up on play number 8 of this opening drive, but they're looking at a 3rd and long.
Hey, tight. Hey, Alpha. Check 43. Switch it. Come on, switch it.
Now Allen again, escaping the pressure right. And that is incomplete.
Chances are good he's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in this opening drive, and they were looking his way for a 3rd.
I think they put this defense on notice that could be a really, really frequent combination.
A 50-yard attempt.
And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And the Cowboys are going to jump out to a 3-0 lead. So the opening drive does yield points. Maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go. 15 line. Go.
They start on the ground here. It's Sanders. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
61. Matchbox light.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards. And Walker has it. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 14 yards there and an Eagle first down. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
On the set. Topper! Shoot!
On 2nd down now, it's Sanders. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends, because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Looking to throw. Colbert.
Let's go.
And it's 4th down.
The Eagles send out their punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The Eagles send out their punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. Now it's Bird on the return. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Cowboys will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5. Throw caught here by Bird. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Allen's throw is complete, and he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo. Stop. Watch the ship. Pass 85.
From the 29, Allen forced out to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Let's go.
He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 16 and an Eagle 1st down. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Right back to Sanders on 1st down. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll go as a loss of 5. And it'll be a 2nd and long.
Check the protein spill.
Here we go. Let's bring it. Let's go.
From the gun, Colbert. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 49. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here on the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position after a turnover. I feel like I might have a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
And throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. 17 yards on the play there, and the Cowboys have a 1st down.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice 1st down.
Second quarter, 2 minutes remain, 3-0 our score. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
Yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
That's complete to a speedy wideout Goodwin. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Back in the first quarter, you said it, they need to avoid the big play, but he just got a big one right there.
You can't relax. You know, we talked about in the first quarter, but as the game progresses, Still opportunities, and he took advantage of one there.
They'll run. Tomlinson. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
The Eagles take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown. So decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words early on. So
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
He'll let it go deep for Foster. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun. Colbert, man open. That's Robert Foster, complete.
Come on, fellas.
23 yards, the final tally.
Gain of 23 yards. 1st down, Philadelphia.
Bang, bang. Check 3, check 3, check 3.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1.
All day, hey, Will.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Colbert going for the deep into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Fabian Moreau, and this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix them.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now, as they'll stop him with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Mike 52, Mike 52. Hey, Charlie. Hey. Mike 52. Watch the pass. Watch the pass. SOS.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Allen, flush to his right. He'll get this into the hands of Bird. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half.
1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Pass.
Go. 52's the Mike. Watch Mike. Here we go, D. Watch the safety creep. He's coming.
Throwing on 1st down is Allen. Buying time to his left. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Alert!
He's coming. Double up, double up. He's coming, double up. Hey, switch gears, switch gears.
And here's Allen throwing again. Flushed out right. Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 20-yard line. So we've hit halftime on Turkey Day here in Dallas. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Fabian Moreau. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. The tally there, minus 2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
It's 3rd and 16.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Hey, watch it, watch it. Sponge. Sponge. No.
Half 10.
Hey, Delta.
Now Allen. And oh, look at that, a diving catch. A pickup of 27, and they pick up the first down in the process. On first down, Tomlinson. Trying to get out wide, but he's going to be tackled right near the line of scrimmage. Adrian Amos up to make the tackle. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Throw left side, caught by Goodwin. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 3rd catch for him on this drive alone, and it'll give him a first down. Well, they brought the pressure, and that meant man coverage behind him, so he's still able to complete the pass.
Even as he took the hit. And that's what you have to do, because I was just talking with a coach the other day, and he said, look, it's not always going to be pretty back there. You're going to have to give me completions. Even when you're taking some hits, sometimes you have to be your own blitz control, for lack of a better term. Got to make completions, step up and make those throws, and he did that.
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? Tomlinson, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And that makes our score 17-0. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They're down 17-0, really needing to find that offensive spark on this drive as they have it with a 1st and 10. He sets to fire deep. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
Hey, Steve 6, Steve 6.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
And that last penalty makes this 3rd down play a little more interesting. 3rd and 5. On 3rd down, they turn to Sanders. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
1st down, Eagles.
Yep.
On 1st and 10, Colbert. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Hey!
Mike, 55.
Off the play fake. Colbert. And the pressure gets to him again. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Back to throw. Colbert. Open man here is Foster. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or two short, and it's 4th down. Now on 4th and inches, they're going to want to talk this over. We get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down. And this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward. And indeed, he did not. They stop him. Even though they didn't get it, probably the right call. Too long for a field goal and just not a whole lot to gain from a punt there.
Yeah, you wouldn't have really netted very much yardage if you pumped the ball, right? And the thing about a field goal, and you know this from so much experience, the longer the field goal, the lower it comes out off the kick, right? Which means it's got a better chance of being blocked. I like the fact they went for it.
Good starting position for the Cowboys here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Throw left side complete. That's Goodwin. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Undercrush, middle, undercrush.
Pass complete to Bird out right here. Accelerating, and off he goes. Touchdown, Cowboys. Demir Bird, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. They'll let it go deep for Foster. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. On 4th down, Colbert. He'll let it go deep for Foster. He's got a man, complete. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on 2nd and long, but it worked out for them.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch the defense just right and break off a big run to help yourself out on the next down.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll in fact tackle him behind the line. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now.
Hey, Alpha.
On 4th down, Colbert got an open man. It's Foster. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. Now, no reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Shotgun snap and then the give to Sanders. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down. Finally a first red zone opportunity for these guys. 1st and 10 at the 19. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. 2nd and 5. And he's going to have the connection to Foster. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. Looking to throw. Colbert. This will be caught. Tyrell Williams. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Only a yard of the completion. It's 2nd and goal. They'll try to run with Sanders. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. Whistles now in a timeout defensively. So a wise move as they'll use the first of their timeouts to force one more play before the 2-minute warning. This Cowboy defense trying to hold him out of the end zone. They've run it to 3rd and goal.
Now! Mike 52. Let's go, let's go. Let's go.
Back to throw. Colbert, touchdown. Jay Sternberger, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Eagles get a score closer. Now that Eagle offense will stay out there as they'll go for 2.
I got you, boy. I got you, boy. Mike 52. Mike. Hey, wahoo! Say nothing.
From the gun, Colbert. He's got it. So they convert the 2. That keeps their slim hopes alive as we're back to a 2-score game. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And a few kneel downs should come very close to finishing this one off, depending on whether or not we see any defensive timeouts. They still have 2, but using them would just be prolonging what's really already been decided. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. From the gun, they give to Tomlinson. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this 4th quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the 4th quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
Tackles. Watch safety 61, matchbox lights.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll get it with still 1:20 left to go in the game. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And Sanders now to return. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. After the sack, here's 2nd and 11.
Hey, foxtrot, foxtrot. Check 26, check 26. 25, check 25, check 25. Rock it, rock it. Ready?
2nd and 11. It's complete to Williams. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. And right now, defensively, you love that, don't you? I mean, you'll give them that play.
And they'll take it every single time. This is almost like nickeling and diming it downfield, and too much time's going to run off the clock.
Leo. Get it.
To throw on 3rd down. Colbert, now a desperation throw deep downfield. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now, give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Got to be wary of throwing an interception here because the defense knows they're going to get tested deep. That's why they're going to put a couple of extra guys back there to try and prevent that.
Yeah, late in the 4th quarter here, trying to preserve the lead. Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
Let him know.
Hey, exit.
Yeah, that's what I do. Whip. Watch the whip.
Check. Lucky.
So Allen's going to look to throw, eluding the pressure right. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Demir Bird with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 23. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Eagles take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. On 3rd and 2. Colbert, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The offense staying out there. They're at 50%, 2 for 4 thus far in the game. What can they do here on 4th down? So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for Dallas, the win gets them a step closer to 500 at 5-6. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, it's starting to look like it won't be their year as they drop to 5-6. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Foxborough to face off against the New England Patriots. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
Yeah. Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might get some no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gon' be from old age. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pound. Somebody gon' want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Step back, let me get some room. Congrats.